About that, let's continue this. So we go from the #1 school of business in the United States with ethics out the yin yang to this school of business ranks pretty well dead last. Where's your fucking crown? That's a big can, dude. My Buffett credential that day. I saved it all those years. Now I have a new credential, open heart surgery. But you know, I got leukemia 10 years ago. Right now, I was given 2 months to live. The water curse, everybody in that building gets leukemia. Including Bruce Hanley was full of leukemia. Everybody thinks he died from the brain. He had cancer. You know, Clyde Cooley died of mad cow. Everybody in there's pretty well dead. Not everybody. F-35, that's all we hear all day. So they sold it to us as supply chain through the Air Force. We knew better. Then all the oligarchs, the rich imperialist families from China started to show up in here. The students were all Chinese. Imperialist Chinese, not peasantry Chinese, the wealth, imperialist. You know, stores started to pummel, salaries started to double. 5, 6 deans in 10 years going. I'm like, Mike Vaughn's the only one that could have protected me, and he didn't. Of course, he just wrote Clyde Cooley's close to this. I spoke with Bruce Hammond. Bruce, the only reason they were able to do it to Bruce, because he was gone. He was gone. You know, I remember, like I said, went in there, talked to him one day. He didn't even know who I was. This is a guy I was like this with. I ran into him at the racetrack one day. I was talking to him. It's an incredible story, how we go from the #1 school of business in the United States. And by the way, what's the answer? I'm a big tariff guy, but tariffs across the board. The tariff, I mean, all the way across. Not the way Trump used it. Once you start wearing the Trump girl shoes as a weapon, now you got to put tariff. You got to throw down on everything. How do you solve this supply chain dilemma? This is who created it. Why would Warren Buffett and Bill put so much work into height? Because I just told you, it was the #1 school of business in the United States. Take us out of the equation. What timing, huh? Clyde Cooley. I remember somebody up here really powerful on here. Do you think that maybe they killed him, Clyde? Timing? How is that possible? 2 weeks before this legendary NBA pro? The guy had ethics out the yin yang. I mean, he was in ethics. I mean, his credentials, I mean, he was a chemist from the University of Chicago. His wife had been killed in a car wreck. He went back and then became the finance genius. And he was a genius. And I'm telling you. Kev, where should I go for my MBA? I can go to Berkeley. You go anywhere you want, Kev, but I would go to NYU. There I was at the Shirtwaist Fire Building. I came here to get my freaking MBA from him. He got mad cow 2 weeks before the thing started. Kyle Madsen in 2005 dies of cancer. 2 weeks before. Kyle Madsen's like, Kevin, you gotta help me. You gotta save me. You gotta save me. I'll never forget it. The mistreatment of me is, well, and you know, I knew about Fawn McKay Brody. I knew what they did to her. I knew exactly what they did to her. Professors here, they don't even have a clue what I'm talking about because none of them were here. The original colors of this University red and white. That's what Misaka's number. What about him? They broke the color barrier yesterday, 2 days ago, 74 years ago. Oh, he played here, down at the old campus, him and Fawn. But at this campus, so he's telling me to be told. In the free library. The free library. God, what a good shot. That's the first time I ever tried that too. Nice. Hope I got it on film. My grandson made a head over shot like that, and he says, you better have that camera going. And so I don't know if I did or not. I'm trying it with that one. Cool while you're at it. So, the story. How can you solve this after a whole generation of people don't even know what you're talking about when you talk interest rate of 7% of tariffs? They don't even know what you're talking about. These are people that were born after the Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand Greenspan took over the Fed from the Mariner Eccles. Volcker spoke here. He's 6'7", cigar smoking. This legendary, incredible program. Well, what do you think? E.O. Wattis died of leukemia. You think there's a curse on it? Who's he? Utah Construction, which is GE. You think they went after me because I went after the nuclear industry? Come on, this is the University of General Electric. I was on their endowment, I'll never forget it. The stock's about $60 a share. I'm on their board. They were sitting on 40, 50 million, just the school business building alone. I'm like, hedge it, buy some puts. They didn't know what I was talking about. I'm like, get out, it's overpriced. Inherited. They refused. Mike voted on my side, but they refused. They blackballed me. Should we walk in and see if the pictures are still on the wall? Yeah, let's do it. I'm an alumnus. They had these really great international flags they used to fly here. They had really great. I remember Mike Vaughn says, Kevin, we're going to name the trading room after you in here. The computer lab, we're going to call it the Kevin Blanch Trading Room, because I taught my first class I ever taught here. I taught the derivatives class, options, how to hedge portfolios, and the market was pretty hot then. I think I got some of the returns some of these students were getting. Let's see if the pictures are still on the wall. I know they took the buffet one down of me born in time. And I know they took the golfing one down. I don't know about it. The last time I was in here was gone. Oh, there's Clyde. There's Kyle. Very tragic. I still can't. He's a really great guy. He wasn't that as far as finance, but he was one nice dude. I really liked him. Huh. Only go back to 2005, huh? Interesting. Race history. Well, I know John Goddard good. He passed away. He never went to school. He didn't have any degrees, but he donated. He was a good guy, by the way. He owned Western Mortgage. I used to do glass work for him. Really good guy. He used to have these great paintings on the wall. The picture of me and Warren Buffett used to sit right there. The picture of Buffett and Gates and I and the dean plan used to sit right there. Now look at it. Supply chain management. Okay. That's the old lab that I used to trade in right there. Mike Vaughn says we're going to name it the Kevin Blanch Trade. Okay. That didn't happen. I want my degrees. I want my first MBA. I'm going to probably have to sue him for it. I've talked to Brad about it once, and you know, some people in here were pissed. They changed some grades on me. I mean, don't get me going. Oh, look here. You believe me? Let's look at this publication. Protests on campus. Look, the first thing I opened to. Who's that? Oh, Kevin Blanch. What's the odds? And I open that too. That's the kind of stuff I do. Oh, these class pictures here. They don't even know who he is. It's pathetic. So supply chain, and I used to go crazy. I was like, what about the morality issues? What about the morality issues? What about usury? This is started by the Mormon Church, this university. What about the morality issues? Come on. What about the morality issues? What about the morality issues? They're slaves, man. I told Damian Mueller just recently, I says, aren't those little children in forced labor camps making your jerseys and your shoes? He was on the camp at the same time as me. Aren't their fingers getting a little sore? Damian knows this whole story, but he ignores me like everybody else because that's what they do. They shadow ban me in there. Now they shadow ban. I just moved out here and did my class. Remember those videos I did in 2011 in my classroom on buy Tesla, go on all Tesla, go on all Tesla. I mean, when at IPO. If you'd have done what I said, people did it. But how about that first flip and it landing right in the bag? That was a good shot. So, how do we solve this dilemma? This jacket is 100 years old. It's 101, actually. It's 1920. How about this shirt? It's real. I hitchhiked cross country to it. How about this necklace? It's made by one of the nuns with Megan Rice. Yeah, I was at that trial. What a journey, huh? These slacks made in 1970 right here in Ogden, Utah. I won't stop there. You know, so stop consuming. Slow down your consumption. Before you click, think before you click. Be conscious on your click. Who's making your stuff? These slaves, they genocide people. I mean, they're cutting babies out of wombs in part of China. I mean, even Mitt Romney made a statement about it. I thought the Mormon Church was the last place to get rid of usury laws. This school was started by the Mormon Church. I used to be friends with that guy. Yeah, Fawn's uncle. He'd be so pissed. So, anyway, this is a book published. You can donate for free, you know, and I'm shadow banned, so it's hard to find me. Kind of like Fawn McKay Brody, kind of like Wat Masaka. Yeah, that's his number, 77. Broke the color barrier in the NBA. Yeah, he played here. 2 national championships here. Don't mention his name. How about Trevon Smith? All-time leading freaking greatest football player till now. That's Rashid Shaheed. He's passing. Beat to death in a jail cell. I'll dedicate this book to Annika, my father, and to the great. He was mean as hell. Okay, Mr. Blanch. Your time in the barrel. I mean, he was vicious. I mean, vicious. Where's my fucking MBA? You know, I want my degrees back. I really do. You know, my transcripts prove it. It's out there. They played fucking... I mean, they went after me viciously in there. You know, and I didn't have Bruce Hanley to protect me because his brain had been bashed in. Kyle was dead. That's clearly dead. Both Davises are gone now. Mike Vaughn's the last one. He's the only one, but I think he's retired now. He was the provost after that. So, this tale has to be told. I got cancer 10 years ago. I've been in a treatment program, but I got paroled. I got leukemia just like everybody else in there does. And E.O. Wattis died of cancer just days after they got the contract to build Hoover Dam. Yeah, he died of leukemia. By the way, somebody says the Queen has AML. I don't know if that's true. You know, Bernie Madoff's son died of the exact same days. And I knew Madoff was a fraud. I was screaming about it when I was on Wall Street, because if he'd have been doing, because he was doing the same thing I was, just supposedly he wasn't doing, I really was. We were buying puts on high dividend yield stocks to guarantee the return. If he's doing that, he put too much pressure on the options. I was a derivative arb guy. I had it down to science. I remember the Palm 3 comp spit out with the market capitulated. I'm in here trading for the firm. I mean, the whole thing, that's when the market capitulated that first time in 2000. Crap, here we go, on cue. They never stop, do they? They sold it to us as a supply chain. And you can look it up. Don't go see the Dalai Lama. They sold to us that it'd be supply, and they even brought in a professor. He was pretty good. He used to wear a cowboy hat in there. I liked him, but scores prove it. 1996, the third time I was around this campus. Highest success in the history of this country. Used to go back to Wharton. Wharton was, I mean, we were protectionists. Ethics out the yin-yang. So this tale had to be told. I just told it. How do you supply the dilemma? Stop consuming. Buy used. If you got to buy it for Christmas. Remember my daughters. One time I was dating this girl. I've been divorced for years and years and years. My little girls, she says, well, you're so idealistic about this. By the way, I've never been in a Walmart in my life. She says, well, you're so idealistic. Why don't you make your own gifts? 2 of my daughters in symphony. Oh, he does. Last time I talked to Kyle was standing right there. Heartbroken that he passed away. So did his wife. I'm glad I kept it going because here they come around again. That's all we hear all day. Remember when noise pollution was a thing in this beautiful campus? It's heartbreaking what's happened. I know it's a long video, but that's page 2. There they are. Glad I kept it going. Stop consuming. Put the interest rate back to what the natural interest rate, if you let it float naturally, would be historically 7.34%. The rule of doubling. We're a negative interest rate. What happens in every city? Hyperinflation. Everything that we are. Don't drink the fucking water, which I